Well, hello, my beautiful Capricorn. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your monthly reading for October 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using Gaia chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. Also, if you did not win the previous competition, do not fret because I will be opening up another free competition for one subscriber to win a free personal reading from me, but I'll let you know how to win that in the next couple of days because, of course, I'm waiting for my guides to give me a sign on how to proceed with the next competition. So let's get straight to your reading for October and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Capricorn, this is your monthly reading for October. I can't believe we're here already. The time is flying on by, but October is upon us, and let's just say it's one of my favorite times of the year. It's when the veil between worlds becomes the thinnest, and it is here that we honor the ancestors even more than ever, especially during Samhain, or Halloween to some. It's here that we receive important messages, feel their presence cheerleading us from the sidelines, and really acknowledge any lessons that arose from any challenges that you may have encountered during the past year. We have officially moved into glorious Libra season, a very transformative month where humanity naturally starts to celebrate and seek more light. Illumination, gratitude, developing intuition, and of course introspection are heightened themes during this month. To really reflect on your journey so far, the wins you have accomplished along the way, the difficulties you overcame and turned into purpose, and of course the abundance that is yet to be harvested. Now, we also bond ever closer to nature and the elements during October to really seek tranquility as we prepare to wind down the year. It's a transition month, you can really feel it, but also it's the month of personal reward on so many levels. Now, Libra season encourages us to cultivate balance in our lives and offers opportunity for justice and fairness. All that hard work starts to pay off, bigger opportunities are offered, and tangible success is delivered. We also deepen relationships during Libra season and really lean into softness as we seek comfort, togetherness, and nurture our connections towards people, animals, and places that we have an affinity with. Now, you may also feel called to refine your personal style this month. Maybe pay extra attention to the aesthetics of your home, especially because your fourth house is influencing you at the beginning of the month. Maybe artistically craft something personal, either for yourself or for friends. Really submerge yourself in your favorite music or book, decorating your living space with art, or simply encouraging your sensual side out to really appreciate, the beauty around you in the present moment. And although you're going to be super busy there, this month offers you a breath, a stillness within to check in with yourself and reaffirm your path. Now, we're all going to be influenced by Neptune this month. It will influence us in interesting ways, so you may actually feel yourself wanting to lose yourself in a world of fantasy where you cozy up with a movie of choice, attend a fancy dress party as a character you desire to embody for a moment, or even plan a great escape vacation. But Libra's steady grounding will offer you a spiritual detox to, mentally declutter, hold yourself to higher accounts and standards, if that's even possible, my beautiful Capricorn, because you tend to already. But also, if you've been relying on any excuses to avoid something or someone, these will fall away. It's time to get real with yourself and face everything head on. Now, this astrological combination is a perfect time to advance on your dreams and goals and make them a reality. And of course, this is also a season to seek closure on projects, relationships, or environments that you feel you've outgrown, to really create space for new developments to come on in. But it also reminds us to embrace the moment due to the cyclical nature of all things. Now, the full moon this month is pretty special. It's a harvest moon, a hunter's moon, and a supermoon all rolled into one. It occurs in the dynamic sign of Aries, and it's also the first of 3 consecutive supermoons to close out the year. Definitely time to be clear in your intentions, follow your passions, and make great strides ahead. And if you're seeking love, this is an increased opportunity month to meet someone special and really develop a harmonious partnership there with that dreamy energy floating about. If you're already in a relationship, this month encourages date nights and raw conversations about a shared future. Also, friendships deepen and clear up any misunderstandings, if any at all. And I would say be mindful of the Mercury-Pluto clash on the 13th. This may trigger some tensions on things that have been built up from the past, old conversations resurfacing, but this too shall pass. Also, if you are expecting any important communications, check hard copy mail, email spam folders. This sort of clash can influence critical documents or information getting lost, being missed, or being left unseen. This also is connected to parcels, deliveries, anything that, of course, you're expecting. So just watch out for that. Chase it if it's been unusually delayed or you've been waiting for a while. But definitely something to look out for if it's an important document regarding like spam folders, okay? Now, there's so many layers to the energy and life, of course. So on a global scale, and please fast forward this part if you really don't wish to hear it. If you're still with me for this, it's time to look to the skies because we do have 6 rare active comets. The Swan Comet, the Lemon Comet being the most prominent. And of course, we have that mysterious 3-eye Atlas. Okay, that will reach its closest point to the sun on the 30th of October. Comets are actually harbingers of great change. How would you like to receive? Yes. Oh, interesting. How would you like to receive? Okay. Okay, I'm just getting an energy of how they are to proceed. Okay, yep. My guide said as is, as is. Okay, so just wanted to just check with that there. Now, yes, that 3-eye Atlas, very interesting, okay? It will reach its closest point to the sun on the 30th of October, just in time for Halloween. I mean, of course, it would. I mean, why wouldn't it? Of course, a very intense time that particular week with all the energy floating about. Comets are harbingers of great change and political upheaval, and they tend to disrupt the natural order of cycles. And my guides gave me specific images for the next coming months ahead, so I'll tell you what I saw. I saw a state funeral march honoring someone of national significance. Gold and red shall be their color, I was given. Also, we may see a resignation of someone with influence. They leave under a cloud of speculation, perhaps even a link to a media outlet's demise as well there. And the economy may take another brief tumble in the last week of October, but will climb back to regain some losses. And, the Neptune energy, it's often associated with confusion and illusion. And when it's retrograding back into the sign of Pisces on the 22nd of October, right up until the 10th of December, this is really a big deal globally. Neptune and Pisces combined is referred to as the era of monumental deception. But when Neptune retrogrades, it exposes the illusion. So it is here that we'll see the greatest of reveals, partnered with Mercury, which is all about information, opposing Uranus, shock, transformation, sudden, change there. Sextiling Pluto, stuff that's hidden under the surface. This could see a lot of exposés or global shocks in store, tensions rising with talks regarding combative plans being mobilized as well. But also, I would say this is a perfect time where power outages, glitches in apps could occur. Again, of course, this too shall pass. The energy just supports glitches in that sort sort of area. So I want you to be aware of that, of course. Now, this combination also really captured my attention because, of course, Neptune Pisces is all water related and Pluto is under the surface. And, of course, Uranus, shock, change, movement there. We may see some deep surface seismic shifts during the month of October that could trigger water-related events. And I hope I'm wrong on this. You know, it's so hard to predict exact dates, but definitely something to keep our eye on from now until basically the 10th of December. But my guides gave me a very delicate time frame, which is the end of October right into the second week of November. My guides keep pointing to the Cascadia Basin across the Aleutian Plain. This has been mentioned before in, prediction there of mine a couple of months ago, towards the Java Trench. Okay, so that's along the Ring of Fire. I've mentioned this before, and of course that part of the world is active all the time, so that's a no-brainer really. But I did mention, about a year and a half ago, we'll see increased seismic activity and activity in general in that area, and we have seen that this year. Okay, but my guides gave me that things will intensify and the time is nearing, is what I was given. So I'll leave that there. Again, I hope I'm wrong. I'd rather be wrong on that, to be honest. Now, also, there may be a conversation in and around a change to the categories when it comes to weather-related events, weather systems, adding a category 6. This came up again, like a couple of months ago, but my guides gave it to me again. So perhaps this is the time to really launch that or talk about it. You'll see it in the media. But I want you to be aware that it is to take into account weather anomalies. It feels like the weather is just doing its thing. Okay, yes, there are increased weather systems at this moment in time, but adding the category 6, I don't want you to be paranoid or anything, because I feel like they're just trying to encompass like new anomalies and they're just adding it, so just to be mindful there as well. And, energy, there's so many layers. So on a personal layer, October actually means for you that something rewarding is yours for the taking, but also you're offered a chance to invest in something new that will yield abundance as you close out the year. It's a month to lean in and nurture all that you hold dear, to close the chapters, of course, that have run their course, and reinvest in yourself and watch your investments yield the results that you've been working hard towards. Now, when I talk about investments and yields, I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about all the time, energy, love, care, devotion that you put into yourself and to projects. You're going to see the effects, the payoff for it. But also, this month is going to encourage you to lean into unity, to share your light and gravitate towards the light in others. And the world definitely needs more light now more than ever before. And you and the collective are that spark to raise those vibrations. So let's get to your energy to see what's going on there. I mean, we do have a tower for you at the end of the month there. I will pull some cards on it, but actually it could be a sudden idea or an epiphany because you actually have it clarified by the Star and the Queen of Swords and the Three of Cups. So it's something celebratory. It feels like it's connected to a structure or a plan that you have. It can be something that actually is for your future that you celebrate. So I feel there's a lot of clarity here, but I will pull a card on that tower because that means a major revamp or restructure or a surprise coming on in. But Three of Cups says you celebrate. So let's see what your first card is. We have the Temperance energy. So you're taking a measured approach to the month of October there. We've got the Ace of Swords, new ideas. We've got the Ten of Pentacles. Yes, you have money on your mind. I mean, I'm not surprised. Your 4th house and your 10th house are influencing you at this time. So this means you're focused on your home life. You're focused on your family. Ten of Pentacles is connected to family energies, but also to, the place that you call home, your sanctuary. Also your money, of course. So you're going to be thinking about structures in general, planting roots where you feel home is for you, because home doesn't have to be a place, it's a feeling. Whether you're feeling at home with a person or a job or an environment, this is about you planting roots or, being consistent at where you feel like you belong at this moment in time. And for some of you, you may be sharing your time between 2 places, okay? This could be that, you're going on a vacation. So it could be that you're going abroad or you have, some communication with people abroad there. But a lot of you, this card is about dipping your toe into something new or creating alliances, leaning into friendships. I mean, this card indicates you're locked onto your sense of purpose, you're being diligent, and you're being temperate in the way that you connect to your projects. You know, you're keeping yourself busy with lots of fingers in many different pies there with this. But also you're creating balance and tapping into, you know, how you feel. The equilibrium is about tuning into your body, mind, and soul, and making sure that you are feeling aligned, but also in tune with your bodily needs. Your fourth house is really influencing you there with self-care. So that means you're taking a measured approach, you know, to watch the inner critic, make sure that you quieten your intrusive thoughts. So a lot of you are going to be looking at mental well-being this month, maybe a self-help book, or, you know, meditation practices, quiet time, or finding a way to quieten the noise, as it were, there. But also, you know, this card, I'm getting strong energy here. It's like you're creating a clear roadmap to produce, you know, a structure in order to have harmonious living. Okay, so it can be that you are looking at your diary, your to-do lists, because of course, Ace of Swords can be an idea or a structure which is connected to a list or things that you need to take action on. You know, you're taking responsibility for your life. You're going to be achieving a lot this month. You're taking accountability for your time, your energy, and yes, you are taking a very diligent, focused approach to the month, which helps you calculate something. So a lot of you could be looking at your diary right now going, okay, I mean, a lot of you, because you have so many swords here and wands, you know, your diary seems to be action-oriented heavy, where you're doing a lot of like plotting, planning, calculating, strategizing, and booking things in, maintaining structure and doing what you normally do. So it could be a repetitive routine or like your duties, because you have that Queen of Swords there, which is your sense of duty, responsibilities. But also you have that Three of Cups, being a little bit more sociable, planning activities, outings, events that bring joy or put you in the company of like-minded individuals, or going out there and having fun, letting your hair down, okay? But your fourth house is all about the structure of what you do, and the 10th house is having the ambition, the drive to get it done. So you're going to be thinking about stability during this month, especially, I mean, every month I think everyone's thinking about stability in this economic climate and with this world that we're living in right now. But, you know, that 10 of Pentacles and the fourth house is actually going to help you lean into, you know, stability in your home life and all things domestic as well. So decluttering your house space, making it a sanctuary, getting around to doing things that you've been meaning to do, DIY, things like that, setting up maybe even a business from home for some of you, because that 10 of Pentacles can be like either selling pre-loved goods or perhaps having an idea from home where you can make extra money, being extra creative, because this is a card of duality. So it can be that you are thinking of different financial structures to double the dough, as it were, but tens can be completion. So I feel a lot of you are organized, structured, and taking accountability for something, being clear in what you need to, you know, start and finish. I feel a lot of you are completing projects to a high standard there, and then you're on to the next. I mean, your fourth house can also see you very explorative from the home space. So it doesn't have to be a business that you're creating from the home space. It can be that you're a kitchen witch, for example, that you're exploring new recipes, or, you know, you're exploring doing new things in the home space or adding to the aesthetics of your home space, especially with that Libra energy there as well. But your 10th house, of course, it takes over. And, you know, the two combined energies, I always feel, and I said this just before I started your reading, I said it out loud to myself. I was like, Capricorn, I always feel like you're in your 10th and your fourth house, like always. You know, the fourth house is all about structure, stability, leaning into, you know, family, being philosophical about where you feel like you belong, arriving at your destination, making sure you're on target with, you know, your goals and your needs, and, you know, just being on your journey, analyzing the next steps. And then the 10th house is having the energy, the drive, the motivation to get the projects finished and your tasks done. And, you know, if you are in business, this is about your reputation rising, doing a great job, making a mark in some area, and having like great ideas and being destined for the top. So I feel in general, you tend to be a person who is organized, but I feel like you're going to be super organized this month and on top of your responsibilities there. Now, of course, a lot of you with that Ten of Pentacles there, you have your money on your mind. So with that Ace of Swords, you could actually download some sort of technology or app that helps you keep on top of your finances at this time, or perhaps you're looking at the structure of your finances, looking at the accumulation of what you have in terms of your acquisitions, your wealth in general, okay? And it can be that you are learning about generational structures, generational wealth there, because we have a tree, so that's you growing your money. Some of you may be looking at things abroad at this time, or even life abroad. You may be looking at different countries right now and thinking, is it better for my money overseas? This could be connected to a business or working opportunities, or where you feel you and your family belong at this time. And also, because of course the Temperance card is about blending life, so it can be that some of you are thinking about migrating your life overseas, or if you're retired, for example, it could be that you're spending time in two places. Maybe one of those places is overseas, just because we have that map there. So it's that synchronistic energy where things are starting to evolve for you, where you can blend your energy and time, and it just feels like it's a full month for you, where you're doing a little bit of everything that you fancy to keep yourself in an even keel. Now, Ace of Swords is actually a breakthrough energy, but it can be a very strict energy when you've got that Queen of Swords. So I feel like you are literally holding yourself to higher standards there. So I feel this is about you owning your truth, knowing what you need to do, forging away. And a lot of you are calculating. I mean, these two cards are calculating your money, or calculating, what you need to do right now in order to feel fulfilled. Some of you could also be learning, because swords are all about the mind. You could be learning about money. You could be learning about family structures, generational wealth, as I said, like trusts and holding companies, LLCs, all of that sort of stuff right now, because these two cards can really lend itself to that. But also, some of you, I feel like you could be learning how to communicate in a more healthy fashion with your family or your soul tribe in some way, and you may feel like you need to structure some sort of balance. If you feel like you've been spending too much time with a certain person or a certain area or a certain experience, you may be desiring new things at this time, or new people, or wanting to be a little bit more independent, because that's what the energy is supporting at the end of the month there. That Queen of Swords, very self-sufficient, very independent. For some of you, if you live with your family right now and you've been saving up all your finances and you want to relocate, you may suddenly find the property of your dreams that matches your budget. And of course, you celebrate moving into your own abode, as it were. So it can be that you're signing contracts or completing on something at this time, and it gives you this sense of independence. And congratulations if that's you, because of course, economically, things are very challenging right now, so it's not going to be a lot of you, but if it is you, congratulations on that. Also, I'm being given a real energy here of perhaps some of you, especially if you're a parent, it could be that your child is deciding to go off traveling, or maybe they're going to university somewhere, they're relocating, and whilst it will be a shock to the energy, as it were, to the routine that you have, you may feel a little bit of a moment of empty nest syndrome there. I feel like, your time is going to be your own there. You celebrate their independence and the fact that they go off and, follow their dreams and do their own thing there. You're going to remain in communication, because of course we have that Page of Swords. It's in the resistance position, so it can indicate a younger person, as it were, remaining in constant contact. Three of Wands, they're further afield or they're abroad at this time. And it can be that, whilst you may worry, I mean, I don't see any worry cards here, but I feel this is an energy of maybe at first, when you get into the rhythm of it, it'll be easier. But at first, perhaps you're a little bit tentative or a little bit anxious, or because what I'm seeing here for a lot of you is this build up towards something that actually gets celebrated. So please apply it to your situation. Doesn't have to be connected to a child going off to college or going off to the next level of their schooling, for example, or going traveling. Doesn't have to be to do that. I just see a lot of you right now gearing up to something really monumental in your own personal life and celebrating it, that it's like a monumental milestone. Something is coming to an end of an era or an end of a cycle, which is celebrated. So congratulations, enjoy the moment. I feel like you're going to love it, whatever it is. Now, a lot of you, with that Ace of Swords, the Page of Swords, and the Queen of Swords, you're very curious, very cerebral this month. So you may be investigating something, structuring something, learning something, especially since we have a very overseas oriented card here. Some of you could be learning a language or perfecting a language there. You could be taking a test if that's you. Congratulations. I see you passing there. It doesn't have to be a test when it comes to language skills, but it can be a test across the board. It can be a driving test. It can be, you upskilling, getting new qualifications, certifications, whatever that is. I see a lot of success there, and it aligns you with a brighter future, opens the door to more financially. Because a lot of you with that Ten of Pentacles, you're calling in more wealth. You are, building on what you already have. And I feel like you're taking ownership of your energy, your time, and, Ten of Pentacles is you being loyal to your commitments, whether it's your family, your soul tribe, or work in general. I just feel, it's about you not forgetting your own needs. Just be a little bit mindful of that because I feel balance, of course, is the key. You have a lot of cards here of trying to remain structured, but this card can indicate some minor adjustments may be needed at the end. I'm being given it's not quite the end, actually. It feels like more the third week of October. There may be some minor adjustments that need to be made there. Because it looks like something may be delayed or something. Just check in with that there. Yeah, it feels like there's an important document as well coming on in. Definitely for you, check all your hard copy mail or all your correspondence avenues, okay? Because there is a piece of information that has the potential to either be delayed or unseen. So just watch out for that, okay? Because I feel like you may need to chase something. But ultimately, I see a lot of you investigating something, structuring, trying to be flexible in the energy. But I also see there may be like a cancellation, or someone lets you down in something. I hate to give you that message, but someone may cancel last minute on something, and it's a little bit frustrating, but you still find your way to do whatever it is you're going to do. I feel like you take ownership for your own time and be like, forget that, but you're not going to allow that person to waste your time again in the future, is what I'm seeing there, okay? Now, this card, it connects to like legal entities. It's the Justice card there, so this can be, of course, on a personal level, it's like cause and effect. You have an idea, you investigate this idea even further. You have a lot on your mind and a lot on your to-do list this month. But then the Queen of Swords is like taking ownership of it. The strategy is now, well structured. It means that you have a sense of purpose. You're moving ahead. You're shrewd and you're really well organized. Also, you set healthy boundaries there to make sure that you're locked on to celebrating the win. The Three of Cups means a lot of excitement around you, that you're going to share some news that people will celebrate. And it feels like a dream come true here. And it may shock you that, okay, suddenly it's all happening after a long period of waiting and strategizing and planning. When it suddenly arises, it's like, oh my gosh, it's happening. But I feel like you're going to take it in your stride and you're just going to celebrate yourself because you should be super proud. I feel this is an exciting time for you to celebrate at the end of the month. And you did this, whatever this is, okay? But of course, this card, for some of you, not all of you, but some of you may get a jury service letter this month to, be on a jury, a trial there. So, I feel like you're going to be very impartial and very detached. And I feel like, you're the sort of person, you see facts that other people don't see. So you are someone who is great to have on a jury service. However, looking at the energy, I feel some of you may want to, based on what's going on in your life right now, some of you may reach out to the, governing body and ask for a delay, so that, because I'm seeing here that you kind of like delay it or reschedule it and say, actually, I can't do it on this date. For some of you, it can be that it aligns with a vacation, or it aligns with something important that you already have booked, or is something important to you. And I feel that, of course, you will be able to delay that. Okay, sometimes you can't, but I feel in this instance, I feel like you're given like respite, where they go, okay, we'll call you back or give you another date, but we're calling you in. And I feel like you're going to be great on that jury service as well, because I feel like your opinion matters. It's really important in that case. Okay, so with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to remove myself from that energy. Now, of course, this card can be about legal documents as well. So a lot of you are either signing contracts for some of you. Always look at the fine print because we have a page of swords here. So this could be like investigate something a little bit deeper, especially if you're purchasing something. If it's a higher purchase, you have a long-term like repayment plan on, or if it's like you sealing a deal on some real estate or sealing a deal on a contract to do with work. Whatever it is, always look at the fine print because I see here there's something with that Three of Wands in the resistance position. It's not part of your plans. Whatever this is, it feels like, okay, that doesn't sound like you want it in that contract. So I don't know what that is, but you get to negotiate it because this is a great negotiator card, and the Three of Cups indicates you either call, it out and say, actually, I don't agree with that. I don't want that in my contract. Even if you're upgrading a cell phone, it can be like, okay, I don't like that. And they're like, oh, well, that's just policy. It just has to be that way. And you're like, well, no, I'm not purchasing it then. They're like, oh, okay, well, that's just the way it is. And you're like, yeah, that is just the way it is. So I'm just walking away. And they may be like, oh, okay, you know what? I'm going to speak to my manager. Let me see what I can do. And then they, take it out of the contract and get the purchase. And you're like, okay, I'm happy with that. But this can also be to do with negotiating a better deal in the working environment, or if you're going for an interview, for example. I feel like you get to go back and forth and get a better deal or something that you'll celebrate as like, okay. And the Tower can indicate you're shocked that, you pushed for something and you got it. Sometimes, unless you ask, you won't receive. So I feel this is about you acknowledging across the board. And, my guides are giving me something from my own personal life from many, many decades ago. Okay. And I'll just mention it briefly. This reading's not about me, but many, many years ago, I was an assistant to somebody who, was very influential, let's put it that way, just in terms of a certain genre in the fashion world, okay? So I'm just going to leave it like that. And basically, she came from a environment where basically there was no such thing as can't do, okay? So on the hired basis of this person's personality, it was like 3 a.m. in the morning, I want this. You'd have to be like, okay, there's no such thing as cannot do because you just have to do it, right? So basically, every time something happened and she wasn't happy with it, she would get me to call the contractors or people and say, I'm sorry, I don't like it. Want a better deal. And I was so scared. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to do this. I can't do it. But anyway, so I'd call up and there was a cell phone issue with a contract. And basically, I had to negotiate on her behalf. And I'm very diplomatic. I would say, okay, I'm very understanding. The person on the end of the phone is just representing the company and they may be having a bad day. They may be going through things that I don't know. We have to treat everyone with respect, even though we're trying to negotiate our own terms. So I talked to the person and said, there's got to be a better deal, and then they were like, no, there isn't a better deal. And I was like, okay, well, she's going to walk away from the company. She's going to disconnect. I just know her. She's just told me, like, get the better deal or not, just, nullify the whole thing. And they're like, no. And anyway, I said, look, I understand you can't do this, but can you put me in touch with a manager? It would be great because, I'm going to get an earful if I do not make this happen. And she's going to leave and you're going to lose a lot of money with her service because she had loads of business phones and things like that. So she had a calling card to be able to negotiate, but ultimately, they kind of was calling my bluff and I stood to it and said, okay, well, thanks very much for your help. I'm so grateful. But, we're going to cancel the contract. And they were like, really? Oh, well, come on. Look, she's already getting a good deal. And, I didn't back down. And then she got the better deal. I couldn't believe it. And I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I can do this for myself. So, it had a knock-on effect. So you never get until you ask. And you've got a lot of cards here of asking. Okay, so I'm just mentioning it. I'm going to move away from it. Not my reading, not my energy, but my guides are highlighting that, when you stand up for something you believe in and you don't back down, but you're also diplomatic with it because this is a very diplomatic card, it can be that you're negotiating a better deal because it's the right thing to do. at the time they were upgrading, but also, you know, increasing their charges to like a monumental degree that was like, that's ridiculous. So sometimes you have to take a stand and say, actually, this is not right. This is not fair. And you have this card here, which is like something may not be fair or something may not be in accordance what you feel is right for you. So you call it out with that Queen of Swords and you just win the room. You just get the deal. So that's what I'm seeing there, okay? So congratulations, because I feel like you're sticking to your sense of purpose on that. Now also, for some of you, if you're currently out of work and you're looking for a new job, the Ace of Swords, I feel the Ten of Pentacles, you're like asking for the maximum amount of money that you truly deserve, okay, when it comes to your skill set, because you're really good at everything. I see anything you turn your hand to there, you're really great at it, okay? And you have clear intention, you're someone who is action-oriented, you're very talented, you're very gifted, and there may be a lot of opportunities out there that are just not aligning with the amount of money that you truly deserve, or you feel that the contracts are not right. So for some of you, what I'm seeing is you've waited a long time for a role. There's two coming in. One is very new. It feels like you are transferring your skills to whatever it is that you do into another arena. But also there's an alternative role coming on in. I feel that's the one that you take. It's got more responsibility. It's more independent, as it were. And I feel there's two aspects to it. It feels like very high ranking, so it could be managerial position or high ranking position there. And I feel it matches the money that you want. So I do see an opportunity coming on in, and it feels very much like that you work for a company where you feel like you fit in, where you know, you help build the role. And the star energy indicates it's a dream job opportunity. But you waited a long time for this, and I feel like you're going to be signing a deal. But remember, when you go for the interview, they already love you. They got your resume, they know what you're about, they know what you're capable of, they love you, and that's why you're in the room. Now they just need to see how awesome you are in person. Your personality, let it shine through, be your authentic self, nothing to worry about. You know, there may be one problem-solving question that they ask you that tries to throw you for a loop, is what I'm being given, but stand your ground. You've got the answer, it's within you. Have confidence in that. So I feel, you know, when you go for any interview, they ask you certain questions like, why should you work for this company? Why do you want to work for this company? What do you want to represent with this company? Tell me a time where, you know, you went above and beyond. All those questions that go on in an interview. The one that they're going to really kind of test you on is like, tell me about a problem solving time, or tell me how you would solve this problem. Okay. And you're like, I do this, 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 and this. And they're like, wow, you're really efficient. Own it. Okay, so just to be mindful, okay, that that's happening there. But for the rest of you, a lot of you, you know, if you're in a career right now, you're already in a role and you're thinking about putting your resume out there, because a lot of you are seeking more money. Okay, with that Ten of Pentacles, you may be looking for overseas opportunities, or you may be looking at something that is just outside of your comfort zone or just outside of your neighborhood or wherever you currently work there. I do see your resume going out there, and I do see like you maybe going for an interview that is at a place where it's just not right for you. Okay, and you'll be able to tell, like when you're in the interview process, one person is like super detached, okay? And they are just like not interested in being there. And I don't think you want to work with people who are just not interested. You know, you took the time and the energy to get to that interview. So, I mean, you're going to be very engaging and draw that person in. Diplomatically, you're going to find a way to get that person back involved. But I feel there's just one role that you feel, actually, this is not right, okay? And I feel like you think, you know what, the next one, they may even like offer you that job. I feel you're going to turn them down. That's what's coming through, because you don't like people who are like rude, basically, because that's what I'm picking up there. So with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to remove myself from that energy. But if you're putting your resume out there, I see some of you getting a role. But you may be a little bit worried about how to give in your notice at your current place. There may be some sort of time that has to lapse before you can move into the new role there. And you're going to be shocked at someone's behavior. If you've worked with a person for a long time, and you kind of got on well with this person, suddenly you're moving on to pastures new with bigger money and bigger opportunities, there's going to be a person who plays hardball. Okay, this person, they're very immature in their energy. It could be a boss. I'm not really sure who it is. Okay, but it feels like they're being like extra hard on you before you leave because you got out and they couldn't, or they can't, or they haven't got the courage to do it just yet. They'll do it later on, but they're just not ready. So just be mindful, like as you start to leave one place to go to another. There's one person who's just going to be really a little bit like on your case. Okay. But also be diplomatic with that person, because I feel that person actually has a lot of contacts. So yeah, just be mindful of that. Now for everybody else, you're looking at service providers, contracts, rolling contracts, things like that, things that expire, that need to be renewed, like visas, passports, subscriptions, things like that. Some of you are cutting out a subscription here that you do not utilize at this moment in time, or you feel perhaps that you want to save your money for something right now, and you may return to this subscription or this service or something later on, but you feel right now you don't need it. You're cutting it out or pausing it. I mean, for some of you, it could be that like you're pausing a subscription at a place, or, you know, on something like a TV station or something just momentarily, and you may return to it. But I see some of you pausing something that perhaps you don't use as much because you're busy elsewhere. That's coming through. If you take anything as a trial, a free trial for like 7 days, 14 days, and you're not wanting it, this is your friendly reminder that something time sensitive could tick over and you have to pay for it. And even though you're like, oh, I didn't cancel it, or you just canceled it under the wire, there may even be something like a delayed process that ticks you over to the next day, and you may have to contest that, okay? If that's the case, you contest it, you get it back, okay? But if you go over the dates that they say, then of course you're going to just have to pay it. And you may even have to pay the next month too, because they'll have like a time period of cancellation. I hate to give you that message, but it's there. So it's a little nudge if you haven't done that already. What else am I seeing here? Page of Swords is an energy of being very vigilant on something. So a lot of you, this is a big calculating month. I feel like you're, you know, strategizing something. Something is developing here for you, and you're just getting all the information before you take the next steps on it. And of course, these two cards can be that, you know, you have fresh new ideas that you want to run with at this time. And, you know, you're trying to be measured in your approach, that you factor everything in, because if you do one thing a lot, you neglect something else, is what I'm seeing here. And you're trying to do it all this month and stay on top of things, which you absolutely will do there as well. Now, for some of you, if you are in a career, you could be headhunted this month as well. That's coming through there. And if you actually are an independent worker, you know, you have your own business there, I see a lot of you looking at spreadsheets, receipts, invoices, statements, things like that, because this is a very administrative task kind of energy. I feel with that Three of Wands, this could be something that you are looking at doing right now, but you create a structure that makes it easier for you to like combine all these things later on. So I'm not sure how that would work. So maybe some of you are putting receipts into like some sort of app or software program that correlates all the information easier for you. So some of you may be looking further afield, like, oh, this is such a like challenging system. Maybe I'll think about a different system for next year or next time. So I feel a lot of you could be very future thinking at this time with this Three of Wands there, of a way to structure something better, or look into software or tools or something to help you with whatever it is that you do. I mean, because your fourth house is influencing you there, a lot of you may purchase new tools or new gadgets for the home space that just help things be easier. But let's get real with that Three of Wands. This means you're on the right path on something. It means that there are a lot of opportunities coming on in for you, and you're following your heart. This is an energy of indicating that you're trying to live a full life and do as many things as possible that bring joy. But also this can be that you're done waiting on things. You know, you are putting your attention to future plans and you're taking action. This is a great card when it comes to being patient in business or observing how something is going. I mean, if you are an entrepreneur or you have your own business, I would say some of you are trying to expand your reach. I will pull a card on this Tower because it just feels like something either goes your way, because that Three of Cups is there with that Queen of Swords. It's almost like something you planned for, but you didn't think it was going to happen this time round, but it does, is what I'm seeing there. Three of Wands often means something turns out better than you imagined or better than you thought, okay? But I feel a lot of you are very structured at this time. Now, we have this Tower revelation because you have so many swords, very cerebral. Swords are all about the mind, about your communication skills, about your thoughts. Remember, thoughts become things, and I feel like you are changing your mindset on something. You have a growth mindset. So you're focused on, you know, personal development and growth. You're focused on financial growth. You're focused on, you know, relationships and growth. I mean, if you're looking for love, for example, Three of Cups indicates, you know, you being in a group scenario where people are having a lot of fun, and this could be love at first sight. You know, Three of Cups can also be connected to falling in love. It doesn't have to be just the Two of Cups, okay? But I just see that, you know, you could suddenly meet a person and it completely like restructures your life. But also it could be a win that's coming on in here for you that you have a sudden revelation on, and you're suddenly realizing, you know, how to proceed. Because you have so many cerebral cards, you're deep in thought and ruminating on something right now. And this is like realizing what you need to do, how you need to move forward on something, or you're given the go-ahead or the thumbs up from the universe to move ahead on something at this time. And for some of you, this could be legal. It could be that you've been waiting to extend something, or you've applied for something, or you're applying for something, and suddenly you're given the thumbs up that it's going to go ahead, and now you can get moving there. But let me just pull a card on that Tower. The Tower can just mean a surprise, taking a leap of faith. If you've been feeling stuck in a structure, because you have a lot of structure cards, with that Three of Cups, it can be like you're breaking structure in order to go out there and have fun. Let your hair down and just enjoy yourself. Be a little bit more sociable than usual. So breaking with routine, as it were. But let me just pull a card on this Tower for you. Ace of Pentacles. Ooh. So there could be some new money coming on in here that's a little bit of a surprise. And we've got Ace of Swords. I'm loving this. Two aces. So this could be a new money-making idea that comes in as a revelation. For some of you, this could be like a bonus, new job, as I mentioned, the start of fortune. I'm not saying everyone go out there and play the lottery, but this could be a small win. For some of you, because the Three of Cups is there, if you are in a syndicate with you and your family, or you and people at work, for example, could be a small win there as well. But, you know, Ace of Swords is clarity. It is all about a breakthrough on something you worked hard or put your invested energy into with that Ace of Pentacles. But this could be you launching something, or, you know, perhaps something takes off suddenly after launching it. For some of you with that Page of Swords, it could be that you're doing a soft launch on something, just testing things, because there's a test energy right here. And you're kind of like calculating or measuring up how things go before you really like launch yourself into it. It's going to take off. The universe is backing you there. These are two hands of the universe, and you've even got an Ace of Swords twice here. So this means, you know, something that you think becomes tangible on the physical plane. So your mindset is really affecting what's going on with you, okay? As above, so below. Mind over matter. These are like sentences that highlight that your thoughts are so important. So a major mindset epiphany realization help something become tangible or come to life, be on the physical plane. Now, this doesn't have to be connected to money. This can be that, you know, you're trying to be more positive and you're investing in yourself, and you're going to see things really shape up. For example, if you're hitting the gym all the time, you're going to see all the results because of your consistency. If you're working on a project, this can be a breakthrough, but it can be that, you know, you're having a positive mindset to push on through, and you're going to see the reality of how things are shaping up and coming together for you. But I would say this is an opportunity or the start of good fortune here, the beginning of something that is very exciting, new beginning completely. And you may even have this idea or this new beginning mindset that kind of spills into November there as well. I mean, the star energy, of course, is inspiration. So you have a lot of this like brainstorming energy going on, and pay close attention to any wild and wacky idea, because I feel it's going to be great for you. Even if you have a hunch to leave or move or, do something bold and daring, your gut instinct is showing you the way. But also this card indicates healing. So I would say a lot of you could be going through some psychological healing at this time. Looking back at the past, how far you've come, how strong you are, how you've had to rely on yourself to do everything and hold it all together. Sometimes the tower can be that you're literally holding it all together, or you may be even holding fort, as it were. So, if you're at work, it could be some people are off and, that you're holding the fort. I feel like you're being watched or surveilled in this place, and that opportunities will be sent to you because you went above and beyond in that position. And there's something here to celebrate. But the star means you're aligned with something that is rare, okay? Because you have that rainbow there. Rainbow has a certain set of ingredients that symbolically indicate blood, sweat, and tears, and positivity indicate a rare opportunity to see a rainbow. If you think about rain and sun, you need that combination in order to create something very special. So I feel this can indicate a rare opportunity that suddenly comes left field for you is going to be celebrated. And you did this, whatever this is. But also the star is, a healthier phase of life where you nourish yourself in a different way. You get back into balance in your life. A lot of you with that cause and effect, you could realize something has been causing a hormonal imbalance, or made you feel out of sync with your life, and you're getting back into the rhythm in some way. This could be you discovering suddenly that you need to cut something out or invest in something more. I mean, looking at the energy, I would say this could be that you have been mentally exhausted. A lot of you, if you've been feeling low energy, low vibe, some of you may have felt a little bit kind of extra critical or cranky because you've been under a lot of pressure. The tower is basically managing stress levels. You may be looking at cortisol levels at this time because you may have been under a lot of pressure, but I feel like a structure or strategy is going to help release that pressure. The star always comes after, the tower. So this means that if you've been going through a period of unwellness, or you've been depressed or extra cranky, there's a brighter future. It means that you're moving on through and able to manage any symptoms, and you're healing there as well. But ultimately, the star is nourishing yourself in a different way, choosing the healthier options, a renewal of hope, and also clarity, seeing things as they truly are, and restructuring. I see that tower as a revamp of your life in some way. And with that 3 of Cups, it's something to celebrate. 3 of Cups, of course, is shared energy as well. So it means that you're being careful with your finances, and you're being careful with the way that you run your life, but you could be sharing an idea with somebody. Make sure it's someone you trust. Always patent, trademark, or copyright anything, because, with that Justice card in the resistance position, there could be someone who wants to take your idea. Very unfair there. For some of you, if you are going through a legal battle, okay, because that can be that there's someone who's not playing fair, someone who is perhaps a little bit loose with the truth, they will be revealed. Lead with integrity in that court case yourself. Get all the information, the documents, the proof, the facts. And, I feel like they'll try and strike a deal, but actually it feels like it's not very fair, is what I'm seeing. And you may actually surprise the whole thing and kind of come out with some information that you dug a little bit deeper on, and, reveal it, of course, because a star is a reveal. And of course, you'll celebrate a win there, is what I see. Queen of Swords, you're triumphant. And I feel, you are well organized and have clarity of purpose. But I feel like, you're not letting anything false or fake into that trial, and you are calling things out, and you're leading with integrity, and it's a win for you. That's what I see there, okay? Now also, 3 Cups. There is an energy here of course, money and luck. When you get a 3 Cups, it can connect to that. But I feel like you're leaning into community a little bit more, or social activity at the end of the month. So there could be some sort of travel, or there could be some sort of event that you're looking forward to, a feast date celebration. I mean, of course, we have Samhain, and we have Halloween, same thing. All Souls Day as well there. So this can be that, you're celebrating something in and around that. It doesn't have to be those events. It can be like someone's birthday, or it can be that, if you're in a relationship, your partner could like pop the question if you're not engaged just yet. Also, if you're already in a relationship, your partner may decide that, should we renew our vows type thing. There may even be a celebration in and around you and your partner or someone in your family, and you celebrate that win. But Three of Cups is, abundance. It is celebration. It's reward. And with that Queen of Swords, a lot of it is connected to you. Okay, so I feel this Queen of Swords is an energy of having a structure, being clear about what it is you need to be clear on, being principled. And for some of you, of course, Queen of Swords can be someone who remembers, and honors someone who has transitioned, who's passed away, passed over there. So I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love. If you have been going through grief, of course, you're managing that. For some of you, you may find like something surprising about this person, or something shows up regarding that person that's a surprise, like a photograph of them, or a memory or sign that you asked for. It's a lovely surprise. You celebrate it. It's just really warm. That's what I'm seeing there. They're going to try and communicate with you, of course, and you got to ask for a specific sign, because I'm not seeing one actually randomly. I'm now seeing an image. This is not going to resonate with anyone, I'm sure of it, because it's so niche, but I'm seeing an accordion. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing right now. So this could be that maybe you're walking in the street and there's an accordion player there, and they're playing a song that's connected to your person. So I'm not really sure. I'm just seeing an accordion. Maybe it is relevant in some way. I'm not sure, but I'll leave it like that with a lot of love and respect and remove myself from that energy. But I feel overall, my beautiful Capricorn, you are structured. You have clear intentions. If you're problem solving this month, you're going to find a solution, because you have the cause and effect card there. The star indicates a wish comes in for you. You're aligned and there is a brighter future ahead. I feel like you're trying to make all the components of your life work for you, and yeah, get prepared to celebrate a win there. We have Guardian, Unicorn, mythical creatures there. We have Committed, so you're committed to something, and Precious Gem. Now, of course, precious gems are formed under pressure, and I feel a lot of you have been under pressure recently, so you absolutely deserve this breakthrough and this win to celebrate. But we have Fierce Approach to Finance. Yes, I definitely see that there. I've already mentioned that there for you. It says here, daring moves, being the hero, protecting your savings and your treasures, okay? A lot of you will be learning to protect your finances should there ever be any economic volatility, which of course there always is, but things have been a bit challenging over the last couple of years. There's been a knock-on effect there. But we also have Unicorn. So this is about elevation. I love this card because actually it's connected to the Ace of Swords. Okay, so it's almost like another clarifier to indicate a major breakthrough, lots of coincidences coming through, quicker results, and things happening quite fast. I would say the end of the month, there is a very fast-paced energy, like things are happening. It's just all going on, okay? But you're there for it. And it says unique perspective, miracle worker, money magic, a dream come true, and an odd job. Okay, now some of you, not all of you, but some of you may take a seasonal role there just to bring in some extra finances, which I feel like you're going to love, actually. Just protect your energy. You don't want to overexert yourself and be completely burnt out and exhausted. We've got Committed. So if you are searching for love, I see commitment here. Also, if you're with someone already, I see a deepening of that commitment. Even if you felt a little bit out of rhythm with your person, I felt both of you lean in towards each other a lot deeper there. And so it says here as well, creating from the heart, you're all in on something long-term. This could be a career prospect as well, long-term career, life's work, your sense of purpose, your legacy, your investment. So you're thinking about, who you are, what you stand for, your legacy, what your life says about you, but also making an impact. And a lot of you could be thinking about 401ks and pensions and actual legacy. So it could be that you're trying to structure things. The Tower is just a structure. right? It can be a breakdown of structure or revamp of structure. So you could be moving some things around. For some of you, you could be renovating or doing DIY because of your fourth house there. You know, that can be the structure of your home is changing in some way. For some of you, I'm just seeing like tiling on the roof as well. So this could be something that if you have your own home, you may be looking at this time. Maybe you're saving for that in the future. But we also have precious gem. And it says here, polish your diamond. Yes. You know, you are someone who is very powerful with your thoughts. You're someone who is awesome to be with. This is about remembering your sovereignty, remembering your power, your clear intentions. You know, a diamond is clear cut, but also it is pure in its intention and it is sparkly. Allow yourself to shine. And it says here, rough ideas. Yeah, I see some epiphanies, rough ideas coming through where you're like calculating, you're making the cut on something. So you are chosen for something and you're shining through and fine jewels. I mean, some of you may invest in fine jewels if you're lucky enough to have the money to do so, but this could also be that you're treating yourself, as well as, you know, someone popping the question there as well, a fine jewel coming on in. So this could literally be a diamond. I'm seeing that energy for some of you, not all of you, but I want you to be aware that it's in the energy. It's swirling around at this moment. So I'm just going to go and get a trinket or a rune before we close. Oh, we have the snake. Okay, so this is all change. This is a big month of revamp and change. So some of you, as I said, renovating, or there could be renovations going on in your neighborhood or in your working environment. You're going to have to be adaptable to change is what I see there. You know, the snake is like shedding something old in order to embrace something new, okay? And I feel a lot of you with that snake as well, you could be detoxifying during this time, choosing healthier options, as I mentioned as well. I do apologize for the neighbor's dog. They're still not acclimatized to the area, so they see everyone as a threat when they're outside. So if you can hear that little dog barking, I do apologize if it's too loud on the microphone there for you. But you know, in time they will acclimatize, I'm sure. But that snake energy, I feel this is the year of the snake. So this is the year of great things happening for you. A rebirth, as it were. That's what that star is about. Renewals. So it doesn't have to be a renewal just of your energy and your intentions. It's a renewal across the board. Like things that are coming to a natural cycle, you know, in terms of contracts or things like service providers, things that, you know, practically you run your life, because that 10 of Pentacles, you're all up in your practical energy of getting stuff done, you know, and a lot of these things are going to be in and around the home space. So yeah, a lot of you are also going to find better deals as well. You may get a quote for something I'm seeing here, and that quote, the first quote you get is like unreasonable. And you're like, no, that's way too expensive. And after that, you find a better deal, okay? Or you negotiate them down. So it doesn't have to be about the cell phone thing that I talked about, okay? So I want you to be aware of that. Anyway, I will leave that there, my beautiful Capricorn. I hope something resonates for you there. Thank you so much, and love and light.